From the podcaster. Powered by Timbre Media.
Mahesh Natarajan is in the spotlight right now. In fact, he's helping us answer some of the questions in our heads. He is part of Innersight Counselling and Training Center as a counsellor. Mahesh, one of the things that we've been seeing a lot of is technology and how it has come to the rescue, indeed, of a lot of people, especially the workforce, really. I mean, they've, a Zoom call, as you mentioned it, or whether it's Microsoft Teams or WebEx, all of these House Party, another app I heard about recently. So while on one hand you have these tools available to you to help you stay connected, on the other hand, you also said we're a social animal. Should we be worried, or is this just one more thing we are adding to the list of worries? How is survival of the species going to be taken care of if I'm not going to be as social anymore? You said hugs were important, right? As important as meal and water. So tell us about this particular concern.
Technology is a tool, and like with any power is not good or bad by itself, but it is really about how we use that power. And here, for example, we could get so addicted to social media, Netflix, and other things just as pastime and lose the whole 21 days. But at the same time, it is also because of Zoom and other things that is enabling a fair bit of virtual working, virtual connection, both socially and professionally. And so as a tool, technology has enabled us to have options in this critical time, which would not have happened if it had been like 15 years ago or even 10 years ago. We would not have had this degree of profusion of smartphones everywhere and laptops and other things, and free internet or like cheap internet everywhere, which is allowing us to actually do all these video calls and do all this checking up on everything from stock markets to what's happening with the US and Spain and everything else. But at the same time, to notice that technology is also something we need to use very consciously, and that consciousness, that mindfulness is something which extends to everything, for our food habits, for exercise, for technology, and all of that. My mind also goes to professions where technology can't enable things, like physiotherapists, for example, or masseurs, or for one category, where there are so many other people like hairstylists and makeup artists and many other professions which require physical presence, which just cannot work through technology. Even theatre or performance artists just cannot really work with technology, and so my mind also goes to them to say that technology can help cope with some of the distress that one experiences, but not necessarily always from a position of being able to enable work from home for professions that can't work from home. There it is only as a coping tool which we need to use mindfully so as to not get lost in the world that technology offers.
Yeah. And coming from you, Mahesh, technologist, do you still see yourself as one? I mean, or is that chapter properly well and truly closed?
So I'm only a technology user now, and I think having had the work in technology before, I'm able to adapt to technology a little bit better than many others in my profession probably can. Right. And it keeps me thinking, saying how can one approach therapy online? For example, we traditionally do not do couple work or family work online, and now we are having to innovate and figure out ways to kind of offer marital therapy on Zoom or other ways, and it's traditionally not advised, but now we are having to kind of figure out how to adapt.
Clearly, being that ability to adapt is going to be certainly key to how I think our futures are going to pan out. More questions coming up for Mahesh Natarajan. He's part of Innersight Counselling and Training Center, and we are talking about self-care and mental well-being in these very challenging COVID-19 times.
From the podcaster. Powered by Timbre Media.